Hi everyone, it's Miss Mary from Skokie Public Library, and we're here with another edition of Rise and Shine Storytime. How are you all feeling today? Sometimes I think it's nice to just check in during the day and ask yourself how you're feeling, if there's anything you need. Maybe you're hungry, maybe you need a nap, maybe you feel like getting up and running around. Well, it's a beautiful fall day today, and the sun is shining, and there's a lot of wind. And in the fall, when there's a lot of wind, you see a lot of leaves falling off the trees, which is kind of exciting. I always think that this time of year is when the trees are putting on a show for us because they make their leaves such beautiful colors, and then the leaves fall to the ground and the ground looks beautiful too. And today, our magic box has a fall theme. So let's see if you can guess what is in our magic box today. Do you have any guesses before I shake it? Let's see if you're right. Not very loud, is it? Should we open it up and see? Yep. Here we go, look. These are some beautiful fall leaves that I found when I was just walking around. And what's so cool about leaves when you look for them is that they're all different. Here's an oak leaf and it's kind of brown. Here's a maple leaf, kind of reddish and a little bit of yellow. Here's a great big yellow leaf. Here's another red maple leaf. Aren't they pretty? Here's an orange leaf. And look at this, purple. So they are all different colors and shapes and even sizes. Here's a great big yellow leaf. Here's a little tiny one. So today we're going to read about falling leaves. And this is a book about a little fox named Fletcher who doesn't quite understand what happens to the leaves in the fall. And it's called Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. It was written by Julia Rawlinson. There's her name right there. And it was illustrated by Tiffany Beek. And it was copyrighted in 2006 by HarperCollins Books. Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. See Fletcher? The world was changing. Each morning when Fletcher bounded out of the den, everything seemed just a little bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning to a dusty gold, and the soft swishing sound of summer was fading to a crinkly whisper. Fletcher's favorite tree looked dull, dry, and brown. Fletcher was beginning to get worried. "I think my tree is sick," said Fletcher. "What's wrong with it?" his mother asked. "Its leaves are turning brown," said Fletcher. "Don't worry, it's only autumn," she said. Fletcher ran back to his tree and patted the rough bark. "Don't worry, it's only autumn," he said. "You'll be feeling better soon." But the tree didn't get better. Each day, more leaves turned brown. One morning, The wind blew a small brown leaf off of a branch. Fletcher jumped up and caught it very gently in his paw. "Don't worry, tree," said Fletcher. "I've got your leaf. I'll fix you." Fletcher looked around, picked up a piece of grass, and carefully tied the leaf to a branch. Just then, another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur. The little leaf shook itself free and fluttered to the ground. Fletcher picked it up again and thought very hard. Then he poked the leaf onto a twig and pushed it down firmly. "Now you hold on tight," said Fletcher. "No more flying around." The little leaf gave a tiny rustle in reply. The next day, a strong wind was blowing through the forest. That's what's happening at our house today. It's probably happening to you too. Fletcher rushed out of the den and ran all the way to his tree. Lots of branches were bare, and little lost leaves spun everywhere. "Don't worry, tree. I'll catch them for you. I promise." Round and round whirled Fletcher after the swirling leaves. "Leaves! Wonderful! Just what I need for my nest," said a squirrel. "But those belong to the tree," said Fletcher. "Don't take them away." "The tree doesn't need them anymore," said the squirrel, bounding off. "Help! Help! The wind and the squirrel are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. "Leaves? Terrific! Just what I need to keep warm," said a porcupine, lolling around. "But these belong to the tree," said Fletcher, plucking leaves from the porcupine's needles. "Not any more," snuffled the porcupine, and away he rolled. "Help! Help! The wind, the squirrel, and the porcupine are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. Suddenly, a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked up the leaves in their beaks and poked them onto the tree's branches. Soon the tree was leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down and smiled. "Thank you, birds, thank you," he gasped as the birds fluttered away. He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky and drifted off to sleep. But the wind continued to blow, and the branches still danced. The leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wriggle free. They tossed and turned and twitched and twirled and tumbled to the ground. They brushed Fletcher's ears and nose and filled his dreams with a whispering sound. When Fletcher finally woke up, he couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a lot of dancing leaves, all he could see were bare branches against the sky. "Oh, tree, I am so sorry," gulped Fletcher. "All your leaves are gone." But then he saw, high in the branches, one small leaf still holding on. "I won't let the wind steal that one," said Fletcher, and he began to climb. He crawled along to the last leaf and held it firmly onto the branch. All day long the wind blew, the branch bounced, and Fletcher held tight. "I'll stay with you, leaf," he said. "Don't worry." But with a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high. With a plip, the leaf let go and fluttered like a little flag clutched in Fletcher's paw. Fletcher looked sadly at the leaf he had promised to save. He carried it carefully down the tree and back to his den. He made a cozy little bed for it and gently tucked it in. But all night long, he could only think of his tree, all on its own. At dawn, Fletcher tiptoed outside. The wind had finally stopped blowing, and the air was cold. The moon still hung in the clear sky, and pale stars glimmered. As he came to his favorite tree, Fletcher saw a magical sight. Wonder what he saw. Oh my goodness, look at that. The tree was hung with 1,000 icicles, shining silver in the early light. "You are more beautiful than ever," whispered Fletcher. "But are you all right?" A tiny breeze shivered the branches, making a sound like laughter, and in the light of the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Fletcher gave his tree a hug. Then he went back to his den for a nice, warm breakfast. And that's how Fletcher learned that it's just exactly what is supposed to happen in the fall when the leaves fall off the trees. They're making room for new leaves to come next spring. And now before we go, let's sing a little song about leaves, because this is the season. And let's all go and take a walk and look for those beautiful leaves as well. So this is a song that has a tune that I know you're very familiar with, and it goes like this. The leaves in the fall turn red and gold, red and gold, red and gold. The leaves in the fall turn red and gold, all through the town. The leaves in the fall go twirling down, twirling down, twirling down. The leaves in the fall go twirling down, all through the town. The people on the ground go rake, 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 rake. The people on the ground go rake, 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 all through the town. And you know, when you've raked up your leaves into a great big pile, it's really fun to jump in the pile. So let's do that too. The kids on the ground go jump, 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 jump. The kids on the ground go jump, 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 all through the town. Well, I will see you next time for more stories. And in the meantime, go out and look at some beautiful leaves. Bye.